In this video, I'm gonna make Flappy Bird, but this is not Flappy Bird. In Flappy Bird, the bot dies when it touches the pipe, but in this game, the bot dies when he crosses the screen. This is my first game and first project in Unity with zero experience. And here we get main camera and global light 2D. And this is the place where I work and make the game and do all functions related to the game. And I have imported my sprites and related materials here. And okay, let's import this and make the background. We have to do lots of work in background. We want it to loop and spawn again and again and move late. We'll do it later. For now, let's adjust it, and now I'm gonna import my board here. And yes, I imported the board and tag it player. It's a bit tough to understand the layouts in the Unity, and okay, no problem, I'll do it because I have a little bit experience in coding. Okay, first of all, let's go for our code. The coding is major in game development because it controls all the functions, movements, and many more. Let's add the most important mechanic, the board jump. First, I created jump force variable to control how high the board jumps and added rigid body 2D so Unity can handle the physics. Then in the script, I made it so when I press the space key, the rigid body gets a push upward and the board jumps. So I am applying the same concept in the script, and now the board should work, and now it's working. Now for animation, I used two board sprites, wings up and wings down, and made a simple animation in Unity so wings flap while the game runs. I want wing up while I jump and wing down while I get down. But I did not know how to apply this animation, so I asked ChatGPT for help and it helped me. But it didn't get back to wings down after wings up, and it is a problem that I faced and took 2 hours to solve it. So I moved on to animations, thinking it would be easy. Be quick and simple, just plug it in a script and my board should flap its wing, right? Well, wrong. I spent almost 2 hours tweaking, rewriting and testing different fixes. But every time I thought I had solved it, the board either stayed completely frozen or flapped so weirdly it looked broken. In the end, no matter what I tried, the results were just disappointing. Instead of using my old animation, I thought to try different, and I removed the old animation setup. Instead of using the old animation, I decided to try animating the board based on velocity. So now when the board is moving up, the wings flap upward, and when it's falling, the wings flap down. It's simple, but it finally works. Okay, now it's working perfectly. Haha. Look.
वेल डन तालियां होनी चाहिए यार हमारे लिए.
Next up, the pipes. I imported them into the game and positioned them with a certain gap between the top and bottom pipe. Then I added colliders so that my board just can't just go through them. Colliders are basically invisible boundaries that tell the game when two objects touch each other. So now if the board hits a pipe, the game knows and can respond accordingly. Check it out, the board can't go through the pipes. The colliders stop it. This makes the game a bit different from Flappy Bird because touching the pipes doesn't actually kill the board. It just bounces or stops. Now the challenge feels a little bit different. Pipes should actually appear continuously. I created a pipe spawner that automatically generates new pipes at regular intervals. But before spawning them, the pipe needs to move. I wrote a script to move the pipes to left, but at the first move speed it was showing wrong because I had not put here the value yet. So let's put the value. Next, I set up the pipe spawner to create new pipes here at regular intervals. This way, there are always a gap between them, giving the board some space to fly through. Even after working 2 hours, the results were disappointing. There were too many pipes moving way too fast and spinning too quickly. Plus, they weren't disappearing after a certain range or screen. If I left it like that, it could put a huge load on your phone and even crash it. First, I fixed the spawn time so it takes a bit more time to spawn. Then I fixed the speed of that and now it works perfectly. You can see that pipes are spawning continuously after a certain gap in a random vertical range. Next, I added a start button to the game. Before pressing it, nothing happens. The bot stays still and the pipes don't move. Once the player clicks start button, the game begins and everything comes to life. It's a small addition, but it makes the game feel more completed and polished. Then I applied script to make it actually work. The script also stops all other gameplay scripts from running until the button is pressed. Before this, nothing really worked properly. Pipes kept moving, bird could flap anywhere. But now the game only starts when the player clicks start. Start button, game start like this. Look, it has game started if I click this. And it will play. You understand? Look. After branding my name, it's time for restart the game when it crosses the screen. Alright, I finally generated a start button and now it's time for the most irritating part again. The coding. Sometimes it feels like no matter how the simple feature seems, you end up spending way more than time you expected. It's very irritating. So look, it will start like this, which is very much acceptable. And now let's play it. Okay, boom, boom, look. Well, okay, don't touch that. You should not touch that to avoid dying. Okay, you should not touch that, or if you touch that, you of course die. Look how smoothly. You are turning a bit upward, so you will not easily die because you can anyhow recover it. Okay, you understand? Look. Wow, it's very smooth to play. Ah, yes, I died. Look, this is the fundamental funda that you can die. You understand? You can die. I think I should improve the gravity a bit more, and if you click this restart button, you will again get this. Okay. Now to add a challenge, we want the score up system in the game. Now it was the time to add a score system. I created a text element for score, applied a shadow to make it pop and positioned it nicely on the screen. Once again, the most irritating part, the coding. I created a score script to add points every time the ball crosses a pipe here, and here I'm going to put normal in start, and then after I'll add up the score in update score function, and I took help of ChatGPT for this, but it's sort of problem. I spent over 3 hours trying to solve this problem and figure it out what was wrong. Oh, leave it for now. I decided to add invisible colliding box between the pipes that triggers whenever the bird crosses it. Calls the function add score. After working for 3 hours, I couldn't get the score script to work. And finally I got it, and the problem was then I tested it by playing the game, but the invisible collider didn't work as expected because my board was not able to trigger them or detect the collision which I made earlier. And the problem was this. And let's go. Now, boom, 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 boom. Wow! It works! It works! It works, damn that you fellow. Finally, the finishing touch, sounds and sound effects. Flap sounds for bird, point sounds for scoring, and hit sound for collision and dead sound. It really makes the game feel alive. And now the game. Now the game was working perfectly, but there was a problem in detecting the collision. It was detecting a collision multiple at a time that you can see in the score. I'll fix it later, but now make it for the Android or mobile phone. So I'll add a jump function only because everything else works perfectly. So I want to add jump function, so jump button all over the screen. But touching the screen jumps the ball before game is started. And it was the last time I was coding, and I want the jump function when game started is true, and now it works. For the game, and I have installed the game. Let's play the game, guys. Let's play the game. Started. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Wow. Oh, no, no, no. I have to score. I have to score. Ah, the game maker. What? Game maker only score 7? Guys, how much can he score?